Welcome, everyone that's watching us. Welcome to Film Camp 2024. It's actually the first of its kind here in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas. Uh, to my knowledge, we've never had this before anywhere here. So, and we hope that this is not the last one. We hope that this continues. And so, this is a project where we bring the kids in, and then we go from concept to film to premiere. So, within 1 week, we give them a crash course in film school and we produce a short film and present it. And so today we have the honor of having our celebrity guest speaker, Fernanda Romero. So let's give her a round of applause. And so, like I was mentioning earlier, it's like a crash course in film school, and so the kids are receiving actually valuable information in this film camp, stuff that they can't even get in
Yeah.
school. This is and the speakers we're bringing in, the information we're giving them, the projects we're working on. It's college level work, and these kids are troopers. They're having long days and hands on training, and so it's a lot of fun. And so today we're honored to have you. So I'm going to toss it right over to you because it's your time. So thank you
Oh
so much
my
for making
God.
the time.
Well, it's exciting. I mean, it sounds so fun. The whole week of like a whole information. I think there's nothing better, guys, than being hands-on and doing it your guys like yourselves. I think a project from beginning, I'm guessing you guys are gonna do the script, then shoot it. Are they gonna
Correct.
write it? Oh, that's
Correct.
amazing. You guys are gonna learn so much because throughout my career, I think I've learned what it takes to do a big film and what it takes, all the effort behind that we sometimes take it for granted. A lot of people always say, "Oh, you're an actress, must be such a like easy um job." But it's not. And you guys are going to see why, because right now you guys are starting, and then you're going to have so much appreciation for actors, for people behind the scene, because it takes so many hands, so many people to do a movie, to do a short, to do, it's just so many people, from costume design, from writers, from lighting, from grips. I mean, there's so many people, producers, and to learn the whole process, it's beautiful, because then when you guys see it up in the screen, then you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it takes a lot of people to do that. Um, so it's exciting that you guys are doing this journey. Um, I mean, I can keep talking and talking about my experiences, but maybe you guys want to ask me some questions that you might have that you're going to be embarking in this course. I'm happy to answer. Like, what are your questions? What are your more like, I don't know, things that you're eager to do? Because there's, certain departments. I have friends, they will never do grip, but they will do directing or producing. For me, for example, I hate producing. I don't like producing. It's too much. Like, I like to be creative. I like to give ideas, maybe some writing. But producing, it takes so much work and effort in the sense of numbers and being in the office. And that's not me. I'm more like creative, free, more people. And that's more the business people. So I don't know if you guys have some questions. I'm happy to give you some of my experiences in movies. I've worked from big budget movies to smaller independent movies that have gone to festivals and had done really well. Um, so I don't know. I'm happy to answer some of your questions.
I've got one to get you started. Tell us about how you got started in the industry. Where did you grow up and how did you jump into this industry?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so first of all, yeah, I'm Mexican. I'm full Mexican. I was born in Mexico City, came to the States because I fell in love with some gringo, and then did college in Santa Monica College, but it was fashion design merchandising. And then from, the universe, whatever, I didn't want to go back to Mexico. I come from a very traditional family, and my dad was like, oh, this girl's getting out of my rails. She better come back and come back to Mexico. And I was like, no, I kind of like the American life. This is nice. Um, at that moment, because I was designing, I went to fashion school. Some of my photos that I was designing a denim line, uh, I don't know, came through an agency, and the agency contacted me. It was like destiny, and said, "Hey, you don't want to do like modeling and some acting?" And I was like, "Well, I don't want to go back to Mexico. I have to make some money," because my daddy was like, "Well, I'm not gonna pay for this, and I'm gonna pay for, like, I don't know if you guys are Latinos or not, but Latin families tend to be, at least from Mexico City, very strict and traditional. And being a woman is harder. So I was like, no, I'm going to show him I'm some independent girl. I can do it on my own. So thank God I started booking some jobs, like commercials and things like that. And that gave me some money so to stay in the States. And then because I was, needed to survive, and then I met a guy in an acting class. He was like, "Yeah, acting," because I never took an acting class. I was like, "Damn, I really need to make this acting work or something because I don't want to go back to Mexico." And I think it's because of my mindset that there was no failure. I was set to succeed no matter what. I needed to get the job because I needed money. That was in my head. I was like, there's no way, I need to make money. Um, so I got my friend told me, this actor friend that I met in this acting class said, well, I'm with Anonymous. Ooh, did we go frozen?
You're good now.
Here we go.
Thank you. Yeah, you're good.
Are we good?
Yes, good.
Yeah. Oh, it seems like I'm frozen in my screen, but
There was a slight glitch, but it's okay now.
no?
No,
Okay.
we're good. We're good.
So, anyway, he tells me I am with this company which is called Anonymous Content, and then I was like, okay. Um, I didn't know back then that Anonymous Content, it's a big production company, like huge here in California, and does a lot of, I mean, Academy Award movies, and I had no idea because I wasn't in the film industry. I loved acting, but I never saw it as a career. I just needed to stay in the States and survive. So there I go with my scrapbook because I used to sing in Mexico from, like, little magazine scrapbook. Oh my God. I just remember. And I went to this manager office, showed my scrapbook, and pretty much they hired me thinking, I was like, gonna get a job right away or whatever. Which I think ignorance sometimes is a bliss, because now if you tell me go into someone else's office at Paramount or whatever, I'll be freaking out. But back then I didn't know, so I didn't care. I was just eager to make it, to just go for it. And he was like, "Wow, I really, admire your, your strong work, and like you're decided to just succeed." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, send me to Paramount tomorrow, to Universal, right?" Like I thought I was gonna knock on their door and be like, "Hey, I'm from Mexico. I'm here. Are you looking for actresses like me?" Um, and then he sent me to an audition, and I did my first movie. I booked it. Thank Lord. I didn't sleep. I cannot even tell you I didn't sleep because yeah, I'd never auditioned before. I had to memorize all these lines, and I booked the job. I just booked it because in my head there was no failure. I was like, I'm just going to go. I need to book this job and I need to stay here and make some money. So that's what happened. And I really enjoyed it. And my first movie was Hunter's Moon, which is now called different. Um, and then it was with Devon Sawa, which it was my biggest crush back then because he did Casper with Christina Ricci. So I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing my first film with Devon Sawa. I would never forget my first audition because I went into the bathroom. It was in Los Angeles Center Studios, which they have shot like a lot of movies, Mission Impossible and all that. I just couldn't believe it. I was doing this. And I went into the bathroom, I never forget, call my mom and say, Mom, remember that cute white boy, so cute, blonde, that I had posters in my room? Well, guess what? She's like, what, Fernanda? Because she's like zero into the movies. I'm like, I want to shoot a movie with him. Like, I was like screaming and jumping. So that's how I got my career started. And then from that, like, it's just like a domino effect. When they see you working, when they see agents that you're really serious about your work, uh, you start booking. And then it's like, you keep going from one project to one other project. And what I tell a lot of my friends and a lot of people that I've met, and then they just stop working or they just like, oh, it's so hard. Yeah, it is hard. Acting and like any other job, I think, in the film industry, it's a lot of dedication. It's like every day. You work at it every day in your craft with your friends, writing at home. If you really want to succeed, you really want to make money from this, you guys have to work on it every day, like even a little bit. Like today, I'm going to write a little bit of sketch, a script. I'm going to work on my resume. What are my favorite shows? Watch them, analyze them, make notes. Like I see myself. I'm talking from an actor. What shows do I want to be in? Things like that. Write to the producers. I'm the kind of person like I write to the people. Like I have no shame. Like right now, what is that movie? Atlas with J Lo. And I was like, I'm just gonna write the director. Who knows? And I did. I wrote the director and I gave him my notes on his film. Because now, you learn so much from film being on set. And I'm like, I love the connection between Smith and Atlas and blah, 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 blah. And I gave him my love. Da, 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 da. And he responded. And then we kept, chatting and with the reviews and stuff. And who knows? I put it out the universe. Who knows? Maybe one day I'm going to be shooting with him. But the point is that you have to be fearless. There's no fear. You got to go and put a lot. I know a lot of people just keep their ideas with them in their house, in their books. That's not going to get you anywhere, guys. You have to do it. Who cares if people like it or not? You have to start somewhere. So put it out there, show it to your family, show it to your friends. Who cares? But the point is to be creative, to do it, to put it out there, have no shame, and then keep going, because that's the way, that's the beauty of how you're going to learn. And if you don't do it, you're never going to learn. So that's why I know I don't like producing, because I've done producing for some personal projects, but then I did it and I tried it, and I know I don't love that. And I know what's lighting. I have DPing, like stuff like that, because I think the beauty is to learn all of the roles. It's nice. So then you also understand their importance on set, because everybody on set is so important and is key. It's not just the actors. Mm-mm. It's the lighting people. Like, you don't understand. My best friends are the DPs. Are you kidding me? I want them to light me beautiful. If and that's the thing. If you're not friends with the DP, and I've seen it, I'm not gonna say mention, but that they don't like certain actors and they don't care. They'll put a shitty light. Sorry for my English. And then, yeah. And when they love you, they're like, oh no, let me give you the bounce, let me put you this. And I'm like, oh, give me everything, baby. So I think it's so beautiful that you guys are doing this. And you guys are gonna have so much fun. And hopefully from this, you keep going, and then you find exactly which part are you going to do, like, because there's so many roles on a film. I know so many people start from wardrobe and then they finish in other departments. So there's so many departments, and it's so nice because I feel like it teaches you how to work in teams, how to be more communicative, and because you all have a same goal, which is making an amazing film and telling a story. So it's exciting. I can't wait for you guys what you create in this week and to see the final product. It's going to be so exciting.
We can hear your baby in the background. So
I can't
congratulations
hear
on your
you.
beautiful. Oh, congratulations on your beautiful baby. Can you hear
I
me?
can't hear you.
Sorry. Let's see. Yeah. Um, Let me raise the
Let me
volume up a
see.
little bit here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think she's having connectivity issues. Anyway, if you're just joining us, we are having our celebrity interview with Fernanda Romero. Let me see. Let me bring her back on. There she goes. Hi
There
there.
we go. I was shocked the whole time, but I just kept talking, even though I look like a crazy person.
No, 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 no. We could hear you. We could hear you perfectly well. Can you hear us now?
Okay. Yes,
Okay,
perfect.
great. But by the way, I wanted to say congratulations on your beautiful baby. We can hear
I
him.
know. You guys, this is what I call multitasking. You have no idea.
Oh.
But hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do. I shot a film in Spain and I was pregnant, and I was 4 months pregnant with this little guy. And it's the beauty of movie making because we had to hide the belly. And then me, I wasn't feeling sometimes at my best, like my back was hurting. And that's when teamwork comes, right? Because everybody was like, oh my God, wardrobe, we got to hide the belly. Or Fernanda, DP. That's why it's so important to be nice to everybody on set. Because I know some actors could be very divas and some even people makeup art. No, be nice with everybody because in this case, people took care of me and, we're working towards a great movie. So they were like, no, the belly. So shift it, you know? So it was like you couldn't see, the bump. But anyway, yeah.
Awesome, fantastic. No, and thank you for making the time out of your busy schedule to talk to our students. So again, thank you. I
Oh my
want to ask
God, pleasure.
I want to ask you a question, and I know I'm kind of hogging the microphone here, but I'll let the students answer. But I have a question that I want to ask you. Tell me about your experience with the telenovela, and is
Oh,
it true? Do I understand correctly that you made the crossover from Hollywood to what is it?
yeah.
The
It
Mexican
was vice versa.
vice
Yes.
versa, and usually it's the other way around.
It's usually the other way around. People come to the States to become an actor, but I became an actor due to, different circumstances that people don't know. People think that I came here to become the Hollywood actress, but it wasn't like that. It was because I didn't want to go back to Mexico. So it was my story is yeah, it's very different. So for me, I feel like also in Mexico, and this is reality, we're very malinchistas. So, and it's very close niche. Like there's only like three actresses, two actors, it's like that they're always working and that's it. It's very, very close circle. So when I started to work and doing American movies, what happens? Mexico's like, oh my God, this Mexican actress and is succeeding in the US. No, we have to have her. So they brought me to Mexico, of course, because they like all the American stuff. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm Mexican. I just, you guys are so like close, They did, but whatever is the reality. And then I started to do some soap operas for TV Azteca. My first one was Eternamente Tuya, which you can probably Google or watch on YouTube. I still get a lot of messages from it, from they're very big in Lithuania and Russia. um, and shooting a soap opera is no joke, you guys, because you shoot really fast. You shoot, I don't know, I was shooting like maybe 60 scenes a day. Your memory, I think, is a great, great, great workshop for memory because there's, some people and a lot of actors use like a little like prompter right here that they tell you your lines, even where to step and where to look at the camera, like, you know, move to the right, move to the left, now look up and look at him. So that's when you guys sometimes see like the endings of like soap operas, like when the next chapter is coming. Sorry. It's like dun 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 dun, and they do the zooms. It's like all schedule. It's all like,
Choreographed.
here's the zoom, here's an ending, here comes like the big reveal. But it's a very, very, very different kind of acting. Like TV is very different kind of acting to movies to soap operas because soap opera Sorry.
No. We completely
Hold on.
understand.
Let me see. Hold on one second. Let me see if his dad is here. Hold on.
Okay. Cool. Prepare your questions that you want to ask her, and we won't keep her too long because of she's got a baby to take care of. So think of your questions if you want to ask. Who's got questions for her? Raise your hand. Okay, good. Good. All right.
If she's what was her age when she started?
Oh no, we can ask for that. We can ask for that. That's fine.
So, sorry.
No, quite all right.
So, sorry. What I was saying is like, yes, a lot of people, and I didn't know this, but when I started learning about the different type of actings, is because it's different formats, right?
Mhm.
You cannot give the same acting for a film that you're gonna see on a big screen to TV that is here, So it's very, very different. And I don't move the same way I will move on film on my auditions. It's more complex than that, but you guys will see it's very different. So soap operas go into a very different rhythm. So you get also very good at crying on cue. I have friends that they can cry on the right side, on the left side. You get used to it because it's a muscle, like even crying, it's like, and then you just cry. But then it's a bad habit. What happens? Because when I finish a soap opera and then I'm auditioning for film, I cry really fast. And sometimes some directors don't like that. Film directors. Why? Because they want to wait on that. They want the teary eye. They want to milk that moment. They want to, you know, get slowly approach the camera, slowly get that feeling. What are you thinking? um get into your mind those thoughts, that subtext that is going through your mind. Why are you crying? And soap operas, no, it's fast. Boom, she's crying. Oh, she's marrying. Ah, now she's happy, now she's sad. It's a lot of emotions. Boom, boom, boom. I hate you, I love you. It's but it's a good exercise because I learned how to cry on cue really fast. I started to go deeper as an actress. You have to have your box of emotions ready, meaning you know what's going to trigger you to cry, which is, as an actor, you have to be very vulnerable. Nobody needs to know this, right? Why I cried on that scene or what did I thought to make myself cry or think. But I've been in movies that I've been abducted, tied, I have hanged myself, things like that I would never do in my real life. But I had to go deeper to think what would make me do that stuff. And even though I consider myself a very happy girl with, like, a regular family, I do a lot of research, and that's what actors sometimes do. And you see some actors, unfortunately, they don't, they go really deep. And some they go crazy, some they go, because they just go really, really deep into their craft. So what I like is to drain myself, do my thing, and then disconnect at home. Because it could be, some people take it too far. I've worked with actors that they don't break character, even though when they say cut, they stay in character. And you cannot talk to them like with their name. You have to talk to them with their character name because it takes them so long to get into that character that they don't want to break it. So everybody around set has to call them by their character, not by their real name. So, yeah, it's interesting, the acting world.
I think we've got a question from one of the students.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, do you have any advice for auditions?
Oh, gosh. Yes. Auditions are horrible, you guys. I hate them. Cannot even tell you how much I hate them. I honestly think the best thing that have worked for me is when I'm myself. There's gonna be a character breakdown, and there's gonna be like white, or open ethnicity between this age to this age, blah 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 blah, like all these characteristics, right? You already see that, and you're like, oh man, I'm not 6'1" or I'm not, whatever, man, you're already sabotaging yourself, right? Because you're not specific like how they want you. Um, well, guess what? I think, in my opinion, and that happened to me, I said, sorry for my French. I said, fuck it. I'm going to do it. Because you know what? There's going to be so many girls that they fit into that description and so many cookie cutters, right? And everybody's going to do the same audition like that. Just be you. I think my best jobs when I'm being myself and I don't think about like, oh man, I'm not that girl. I'm not the American girl. I'm not that white girl that they're looking for, the best friend. I'm this Latina from Mexico City. I have to speak with an American accent. No, it was me. They're like, oh my God, that was such a good job. Okay, Fernanda, and then they change even the script sometimes. Like that happened to me in a movie called Ghost Team One. The character meant to be full on American girl, white girl, like, and I went in, did my thing, because I wasn't even thinking or sabotaging myself. I was like, you know what? If I get it, great. If I don't get it, I don't know. But I'm just gonna be me. And I did it, break my scene, and then boom, they really liked it. They changed the script, and they even called the character Fernanda. And then, and that had happened to me in many other occasions. Not always, especially TV, could be harder because it's very specific. Film, you can do that more. You're more easy to play with you. And I feel when you do something different in your auditions, you stick to them. They're like, oh my God, I remember that guy. Remember that guy that he did this? Think about something different that nobody's gonna do. Because that's how you stay in their minds. That's my trick sometimes. So make it yours. Always make it yours. Make that impact and have fun. Don't think about it. Don't sabotage yourself. Let it go. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh, Someone else had a question?
How old was she when she started acting?
Oh yes. The question was, how old were you when you got started?
Oh God. Well, I mean, in the entertainment business, I was 16, but I wasn't acting. I was singing. But in a way, yeah, I was involved in the entertainment. Yeah.
And did you know growing up that this is what you wanted to do? When you were a little girl, did you have a desire to be in front of the camera? Did you have an inclination when you'd watch a movie? Any
I
signs or early
mean,
signs?
back then, yeah, I mean, I always kind of acted, but around my friends, I was that kind of girl that always, reenacted, made sketches of teachers, make fun of them. I'm sorry, but I was like that girl. But I never saw it that I was acting or doing sketches. And then I mentioned to my mom, oh, yeah, it would be nice maybe if I'm an actress. And my mom was like, no. Like, my parents were never really supportive of that. Um, which maybe that made me even stronger because they don't see it. I don't know, but my parents were like, oh, come on. It was until I was really making money, real money. And they're like, oh, shit. Oh, I'm sorry, my French. They're like, damn, okay, well, good for you. And they were more supportive. But I had to prove them wrong in a way. So, um, yeah, it's what can I say? It hasn't been an easy ride, but I mean, it just, I think the best thing in this business is nobody else is going to believe as much as you do in yourself. Nobody. I'm telling you. There's a lot of competition out there. There's always going to be that one's more creative. That's going to be that. That one's more prettier. That one's always. Stop that. Focus on yourself because otherwise it's going to drive you crazy and it's going to stop you from becoming what you really want. So for me, it was, I live in a city where everybody from around the world comes here. Everybody. The most beautiful people, the most talented people. Why? Because it's a city of industry and they all want to make it here in the Hollywood, right? So I think for me, booking, and I did from many commercials, worked with many brands, and I had the opportunity to work with amazing directors from Sam Raimi, Guillermo Arriaga. And for me, it was always just focusing on me, never focusing on that other person. Because yes, I saw so many person. I was in the room. I've been in the same room with other big celebrities. And if I put myself, oh my God, they're going to give it to her. They're going to give it to her because why? Oh, yeah, she's boom, boom, boom. She has this movie, she has that, 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 that. It's going to drive you nuts. There's always going to be that. No, I was focusing on myself and I always give the best. And it's all about your personality and how much you believe in yourself. So, and working on your craft. Just work on your craft. Don't look around. Just work on yourself. Believe in yourself because that's one of the biggest things that it taught me this career is that nobody is going to believe in you as much as you do. How much you market because you have to market yourself. You're like this person, I do this, do that and then just go for it.
That's true. That is true. Like you, I was a disappointment to my parents, to my dad specifically. He wanted an engineer or a lawyer or something
Of
like that.
course, mine
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, but you
You
know,
know, yeah. So don't let that discourage you. Kids. Follow your.
no, 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 never, never, because I'm so blessed to wake up and to do what I love. I'm always so blessed, and when I go to set, yeah, sometimes, yeah, waking up at 4 a.m. or being on set all day and maybe just taping one scene or being back to back and not sleeping. You know, uh, when I was pregnant, I was like, I'm not the most right now happy at this moment from not sleeping and feeling like crap, but I'm so happy to be on set because I love being on set. I love making new friends. It just becomes your family. And it's always so sad to say goodbye. And then you're working on, on this beautiful, project. And I love being on set. And I'm always so grateful when, I get a call sheet. I have this thing, I always keep my call sheets. Um, and I love that. And you never know who's going to be also the big next star, when I did The Burning Plane and I was with Charlize Theron, Jennifer Lawrence was just Jennifer Lawrence, whatever. And then she blew up, so you never know. And it's just so nice to see people's careers, people, so that's why it's so good to always be. It's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's very hard. And people don't talk about so much about this mental awareness being in the industry because it's tough. It's really tough. But right now, with social media and digital platforms, I think it's so much easier to break that. You know, to have like a good agency to see you, to have more eyes on you, to just put your craft out there, to submit it to festivals, to do things like that. It's easier.
There was an initiative that what we started down here called Film in Valleywood, and that our sole purpose was to promote more filmmaking in the area and to sort of unite. And a few filmmakers got together and said, you know what, let's try to promote this area as a film location. We've got
Oh,
talent
nice.
down here, we've got great locations, we've got the cities are very friendly to filmmakers. There's not a lot of red tape. We don't have to contend with a lot of things, unions and so forth, and so it's easy to put a production together down here, and also the cost is a little bit a lot better, a lot cheaper to shoot down here, and so this initiative is to shoot down here to bring more productions to the area, and so one of our behind the scenes teachers for asked if someone was to drop a project in your lap, would you consider coming down to the Rio Grande Valley of Texas to come and shoot a film?
I would love that. I actually shot in Texas. Yeah, various times. I shot in San Antonio. I shot Mission Park. It was so hot. It was so humid, but
Mhm.
I loved it. I loved shooting in San Antonio, and yeah, you're right. People are so nice, so friendly, and that was a really cool movie with Brian Ramirez. He's from Texas, and then I shot no, and then what else did I shot in Texas? I shot two movies in Texas. New Mexico, I shot something, but no, not Texas. But I love Texas. Yeah. Maybe a good script. Yeah. Send it my way. Let's do it.
All right.
Fantastic. All right.
There you go.
Let's do it. And then the kids can come too, because I think that's the best way of learning, you guys. The best way is getting to an intern into, a film, learn it, learn the business, because then you'll start to know what department you really like the most. You
Mhm.
know, you start to be like, ooh, that's terrible job, or oh my god, I love it. Like for me, behind the camera, I love too. I love directing. I love um DPing. Sometimes I do it. I love being behind the camera, and I have so much respect for people behind the camera, for the grips, for carrying everything. Set design, I know some directors like Guillermo Arriaga that he did Amores Perros, he did Babel,
Mhm.
he's done so many great films. He's a writer, but when he directed that film, um, which is The Burning Plain, I remember his color palette. It was very important for him. He would go crazy with the color palette. It had to be cool colors. It would be like grays and the greens, and Charlize needed to be in certain tones of colors. And they focus in so much because it gives the mood of the film, right? And sometimes you wouldn't even think about it. But costume designers, they just think about everything. And then it's great. It's really beautiful to learn all the departments, because then you also understand their job. It's a different kind of, like, you respect them, and you're like, oh my god. Even crafty. You will not think like crafty would be important. It's so important. I think you keep all your crew happy and well fed. We all work hours and hours because it's a party, right? So those little things that you might not even think about it, they're all important. Everybody on set, it's important. That's how I see it. So I can't wait for you guys what you create. You have to share with me what the end result. And feel free to like message me on my social media, or my Facebook. I answer messages. If you have questions, I'm here for you guys, because something that I did not have. It was like a mentor for acting and stuff. I had to be learning as I went. But like my personality, I am very free. I don't care of what they people say. So, but I know so many people are shy to go for it. But I'm here for you. I want to be that person. You feel free to reach out. Feel free to be like, hey, Fernanda, we had that conversation. I have questions about how do I get myself into auditions, or how do I find an agent? What will be my first step to get myself out there? Or where can I find an internship? Like, feel free to reach out. I'm here for you guys. And yeah, consider me a friend. And thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a
Thank
lot.
you.
I've never spoken to a celebrity who has been so nice, so kind, so open into offering help to the kids. And so thank
No,
you
of
so
course, because it's like, it could be scary, to get yourself out there, and then it's so many things, and then it was for me like that. Like I said, for me it was just go go go, because for me it was like, I'm not going back to Mexico. I gotta go go go. So I threw myself to to the big, leagues without even knowing. That's why ignorance is a bliss. Like sometimes I didn't know things were happening around me, because I was just like, I gotta go, I gotta do this. But it could be very scary. And if you don't have that type of personality, sometimes it could be like, oh, heck no. Oh, no. What? Whoa, no. Mm-mm. I'm staying here. But you got to go. You got to do it. If you're in this business, you cannot be intimidated. You cannot be shy. I'm telling you, your best secret weapon is going to be yourself, your self esteem. You know that you're great at what you do, and believe in yourself. That's what's going to make you a star in whatever department you're going to do. That's what's going to make you unstoppable. Just go for it. Believe in yourself. You're good at it. Don't look around. That person can be, oh, that got a job. Who cares? You're going to get yours. There's plenty for everybody. Trust me.
That's such a nice message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any last questions? No.
I have a question.
Oh, and one last
I
question.
noticed that her English is she's very fluently when she starts speaking English, and does she feel comfortable when she's doing the movie in English?
Yeah. The question was, you've got a perfect English accent, and when did you start learning English, and did you have trouble in doing English films? And then the start of your career.
Okay, so I went to a bilingual school in Mexico City, and I started, yeah, really young speaking English. But I mean, when I really started speaking more, it was here. And it was just because I was here by myself, no family. And I was like, well, I got to communicate. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but we're going to do this. And I'm telling you guys, it's just doing it is your best secret. Just getting yourself out there. My dad is a pilot, so he's pretty bilingual. But I think once you're there and you submerge yourself into the society, into like, I was like, okay, let's do it. And now back then, when I started acting, uh, I mean, Latinos weren't in. I gotta say, we weren't in. We were like, oh, you gotta, can you do? I remember, and I'm sorry, might be mocking my agent, but she's like, Fernanda, you gotta do your American accent, okay? Like, roll, like those R's, you gotta get them out. Like, it's not working. And I was like, that's terrible. So I used to not really embrace my Latino, but then I got tired, because I would go into the room and then the casting director is like, wait a second, but you're from Mexico, right? And I was like, yeah. And I was so scared to be like, even say yeah. I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, no, we want you. Like, even the accent. So I was like, oh man. So that's when I discovered just be you. I was like, you know what? My agent has no idea what they want. This person, I'm going to be me. And then if they tell me, hey, listen, can you be more American or whatever? Then I'll go into my more American accent. But if not, I'm just gonna be me. That's it. So, but yeah,
Fantastic. One last one that I've got. How do you see or is the industry changing, and are there more roles for Latinos being opened up, or are Latinos making their way in there? Because that's how I feel like you kind of just had to force yourself in there. You had to say, you know what, I'm here. I can do
yeah.
this. Do you see
Oh
that
gosh.
being
I
more
mean, I
prevalent?
wish I can tell you guys yes, but the answer is not quite there. I mean, we're getting more opportunities for sure, but I cannot even tell you. I there was a Latina role for what was that show? And he's he married one of the Jonas but she's from India. What's her
Okay.
name? I
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember her name.
Well, it was
Yeah.
for a Latina, and she got it, and she's from India, right?
Mhm.
So not really, because we still it's made for a Latina, but then at the end, other ethnicities get them too. So what can I say? I wish we're still doing some stereotypes. I still get like some stereotypes, and that's why I told my agent and like, listen, I've done it all. I've done the immigrant. I've done the sexy Latina with the accent and talking like this. I'm tired. I
Mhm.
want a good story. I want a meaty story. I'm tired to do so many stereotypes. That's why I was so excited to do this last film because it was very different. It was a different story. Um, so that's why you guys, it's so important to create new storytelling, and we are responsible to tell a different story. Yes, we're getting certain roles, but at the end, yeah, they still want the stereotype. They still want, at least for Latinos in my we still get stereotyped, and we still get the narcos. How many more narcos stories we're gonna hear? So many. Yeah, they're great, they're entertain me, but I think at the end of the story, and that's what we need to teach, is who tells the best story at the end, because that's true. Now with Netflix, you see a show and you don't think about like, oh my God, was he from I don't know what, Nigeria, or was he from India? You don't think about it. You just see, oh my God, that was such an amazing acting and show and the premise and everything. I think when it's a good storytelling, you don't think about where they from. You think more about the storytelling, the weight, the message, and that's what you take with you, right? Or you're crying because they're amazing at telling that story. So that's what we need to do to create more amazing stories. So then we can produce them, act on them, and get more opportunities because it's the only way. That's why, you see Eva Longoria doing their own. You see other Latinos because we're all trying to tell our stories and to be portrayed in a different way too.
Well, thank you so much for helping inspire the next generation of filmmakers. And
Oh my God, please write an amazing script and invite me. I will love to act on it.
fantastic. Thank you. Yes.
Sorry. I have a question. When you get booked for a role, whether it's movie, TV, do you enjoy yourself when the project is in Spanish or in English?
Interesting. That's a very interesting question. Okay. Okay, when it's in Spanish, I'm not gonna lie, relax way more. Depending if it's drama, if I break my scenes. But I relax way more. Why? Because Spanish, I look at the page, um, and it's there. I don't have to study as much. With English, my boyfriend helps me. Just rehearsing more and more. I mean, there's some, depending on the character, some lingo, doctor lingo I hate. Sorry, I just don't like it. Why? Because I'm not a doctor. I don't. And they have such a specific lingo. Law, right? So to sell it, it just takes longer for me to be more familiar with it. So I have to be more in the pacing and to memorizing. So even with this script, the movie that I did, I played the lead. I was breaking my script 2 months before just because I wanted to chill on set and be relaxed and knowing, you never shoot on sequence, you always shoot in different sequence. So I just, took me like 2 months to really like break down and to feel comfortable. And with Spanish, I would say, no, I will wing it. I'll be like, boom, let's go. So it is different for me, for sure.
Muchas gracias.
Then
Yes. Thank you so much for making this time to speak to our kids. It is truly an honor to have you talking to our kids.
Oh my God, thank you, you guys. Have a wonderful session and project. And please do share. And if you reach me out, my socials. Feel free to share them with the students. And I'm here for you guys. Good luck. Have fun. Have fun in the process.
Thank you.
Let's give a round of applause.
Ciao.
We wish you continued success in all of your endeavors, and I know we're going to see you in a whole lot of projects. And once again, thank you. We look forward to giving you a call for the next film camp and see what new projects you're working on.
Thank you. And then right now I have a movie. It's called Final Wager on Voodoo. If you guys want to see it. With Michael Madsen, which I'm a huge Tarantino film. Like, yeah, like I love him. So it's on Voodoo if you want to see right now. Anyway, thank you so much for having me. Bye, guys.
Applause.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a great.
You too.
Have a
Happy
great
summer,
rest.
guys.
Thanks. Bye
Bye.
bye.